They said the old man was finished, that his gun had rusted, his hand had gone slow, and his heart was buried long ago. But when that cocky young gunslinger spat on his boots and called him Grandpa with a ghost hand, something deep inside the old cowboy woke up, something dark, cold, and unstoppable. Before I tell you how that night turned into one of the bloodiest showdowns in the West, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories that'll chill your bones and stir your soul. Dry Creek was the kind of town where dust never settled, and men's pride was sharper than their knives. Folks had forgotten the name Harlan Dune. Once it struck fear across 5 states, his draw faster than any man alive, his stare enough to freeze a charging bull. But that was 20 years back. Now he was just an old ranch hand sitting alone outside the saloon, hat low, polishing boots for whiskey money. Then came Jet Carver, young, cocky, all silver spurs and smooth talk. He'd heard the legends. Ain't no way that's him. He laughed loud enough for the street to hear. The great Harlan Dune. He's dust and bones. The saloon doors swung open. Men leaned on the railing, waiting for the storm. Harlan didn't move, didn't even look up. "Boy," he said, slow, voice like gravel sliding down steel, "you talk too much for a man who don't know who he's talking to." Jet's grin widened. "Then show me." The street went quiet. A crow cawed in the distance. The air was heavy as the sun sank low, painting everything in gold and blood. Harlan rose from his chair like a spirit waking from the grave, his old leather coat brushing against the dirt. His revolver hung low on his hip, same as always, though the gunmetal was dull, scratched, and tired, just like its owner. "You sure you want this, son?" he asked one last time, but the boy just laughed and spat in the dust. When the clock tower struck 7, Jet's hand twitched. He drew fast, too fast. But before his gun cleared leather, Harlan had already fired. One shot. The echo bounced off the empty hills, and when it faded, Jet Carver lay still, eyes wide open to the stars. The old man holstered his Colt and whispered, "Ain't nothing worse than waking what's meant to stay buried." By morning, word had spread like wildfire. Harlan Dune was back. The deadliest hand west of the Rio Grande had just killed again. Some cheered, others trembled, and a few packed up and rode out. But not everyone feared him. In a saloon 50 miles north, 3 men heard the news and grinned. They weren't strangers. They were the Carver brothers, and they'd been waiting years for a reason to find Harlan. That same day, the old cowboy saddled his horse, a worn-out roan named Whiskey, and rode toward the canyons. He didn't drink to celebrate, he rode to forget. But the ghosts rode with him, his wife, gone to fever, his son, buried on the hill behind the ranch. That night, the wind carried voices from the past, whispering through the sage. He knew vengeance was coming, and this time he wasn't running. In the next town, the Carvers came hard. They found Harlan at the general store, just as he finished loading supplies. "You killed our brother?" snarled the eldest, Caleb Carver. "He asked for it," Harlan replied. "You want the same." 3 guns clicked, but Harlan didn't flinch. His eyes were cold as winter rivers. "You think death scares me," he said. Then the world exploded in smoke and thunder. When it was over, 2 men lay bleeding in the dust, and one, Caleb, limped off, swearing he'd come back with a small army. Harlan leaned against a post, blood trickling down his arm, staring out into the red dusk. "You can't kill the past," he muttered, "but you can sure make it bleed again." 3 days later, Dry Creek became a fortress. Riders gathered, lawmen, bounty hunters, drifters, all hungry for the price on Harlan's head. The Carvers had spread the word, $10,000 for the man who killed the ghost of the West. Harlan sat in his cabin sharpening his knife, listening to the wind howl like wolves outside. He wasn't scared, he was tired. Tired of blood, tired of running, tired of being the story every young fool tried to outgun. That night they came, dozens of them. Torches burned across the valley like angry stars. Harlan stepped outside with his rifle, the barrel glinting faintly in the moonlight. "Guess it's time," he whispered to the night. The first shot came from the ridge, and chaos followed. Bullets tore through the darkness, horses screamed, men shouted, But through it all, the old cowboy moved with deadly calm. Every shot he fired found its mark. Every step was slow, deliberate, a ghost dancing through fire and death. By dawn, the valley was quiet again. Smoke curled over the fields. The ground was painted red. And there, standing alone amid the wreckage, was Harlan Dune, breathing hard, one hand on his bleeding side, the other clutching his revolver. The legend had lived one more night. When the sun rose over the hills, Harlan knew his time had come. He buried the dead himself, one by one, then saddled whiskey and turned east. His body was broken, his breath shallow, but his eyes still burned with that old light. He rode past the graves of his wife and son, tipped his hat, and smiled. "Guess I'll be home soon," he said softly, as the horizon swallowed him. The people of Dry Creek gathered at the edge of town, silent. Some called him a killer, others called him a savior, but they all knew one thing: the West had just lost its last real cowboy. So if you ever ride through the desert at sundown and hear the wind whisper a name, don't answer. Just tip your hat and move along. Some legends ain't meant to rest easy. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tales of grit, vengeance,